Hello, this is the news agenda for Monday, August 16th, 2021. It's National Tell a Joke Day. No. But it's also National Bratwurst Day, so fire up a grill and snap into some natural casing. Like and subscribe and get ready. It's time for the news. And welcome to the fourth day of the second Trump administration. Those of you in the know that our 45th and 47th president to return to power on Friday the 13th. No, shut it down. Shut this down. I can't believe Lindell lied to me. I'm getting word that local hero Jason Voorhees personally cut through the lies of those looking to overturn the democracy with his machete of justice. Even more impressive, he did it all while wearing a mask. So it's official, the Trump reinstatement is not gonna happen, or didn't happen. His followers are going to finally realize it's kind of moot and there's nothing going back that's going to bring him back outside of a successful run in 2024. Just kidding. Word on the street is that some are pointing out to the change from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, which was adopted in Britain back in 1752, which shifted the calendar 11 days, meaning the new date for the Trump reinstatement is actually August 24th, which is the original August 13th from 250 years ago. So watch out, August 24th is coming. If you don't believe me, do your research. And by that I mean follow the exact same rabbit hole I did and come to identical conclusions. Or is it August 2nd? I have no idea because my research doesn't include basic math. In bad at math news, 3,000 more troops were deployed to Afghanistan as the U.S. continues the withdrawal of troops. This is the exact opposite of what was promised. The imminent fall of Afghanistan continues with the graveyard of empires finally conquered by its own people. Kind of. The Taliban continued their resurgence across the country. They, as the morning of this writing, have entered Kabul, the nation's capital. Oops. The Taliban's leader is now the president of Afghanistan. Oh! The powers that be say that the additional 3,000 troops were to help with the evacuation of embassy personnel. So if everything goes well, we'll see an HD reenactment of the evacuation of the Vietnamese embassy. We still don't know how to make an original movie anymore, do we? The good news here is that in the US we can go on to no longer even think about Afghanistan. So basically nothing has changed for the past 18 years. And speaking of things under 18, Matt Gaetz. Gaetz, seen here showing where all the evidence of his crimes are, is facing what some are calling an imminent indictment in charges related to prostitution and sex trafficking. Now, the news agenda has a firm prostitution is fine position, but underage sex between an adult and a minor and sex trafficking is not cool, nor is hypocrisy. But, well, there's a slight problem, as we discussed last time. There's nothing wrong with hypocrisy in the minds of politicians because we all know they all lie all of the time. Speaking of liars, former mayor and man who just remembered he left the oven on in 1982, Rudy Giuliani. This week, some interviews came to light that the rooster just came out and lied because everyone does it. What does everyone else do, Rudy? Join Cameo? I mean, I would never join Cameo myself unless the Patreon doesn't work out. In other shitty New Yorker news, Andrew Cuomo put his 2 weeks in as the New York governor. 2 weeks or so that the government could find her a suitable replacement for that really nice desk in his office and all the other shit that he's going to steal from the governor's mansion. Then Cuomo will be no-mo. Also in good news, germ theory has been debunked, so we don't have to worry about COVID anymore. This is all according to something I've done a lot of research about, terrain theory. You see, the body contains its own internal environment, the terrain. And unless that goes out of equilibrium, you will never, ever, ever get sick. See, getting sick is always your fault because you're not in equilibrium. You unbalanced fool. Now I hear objections that you're saying, what about bacteria? And what about them? You never see them with the naked eye. No, they're just little tiny TV screens in the microscopes. Cells and bacteria don't exist, and if they did, they would come from misequilibrium. So you have only one person to blame if you get sick. It's all your fault. You. And that comes from reading one article. Now imagine how much I could learn if I looked more into this and found other articles and videos that say the exact same thing. Now they don't want you to know the real thing, whoever they are. I don't know. I don't know that. I didn't do that research. But all I know is that I and the pals over at GAETZ Sandwiches Plus, of course, are all about the truth here. And the truth is... up really and out. And why aren't we teaching this to our children? And probably good news, the white population in the United States is declining. Oh sure, most people in America are still white, but that dropped from 63.7% in 2010 to 57.8% in 2020. Now some demographers are saying that that's not so much the white population decreasing as shifting multiracial identities. These numbers do not reflect the over 620,000 people, though, who died as a result of the COVID pandemic. Scientists say this is likely to cause an increase in blood pressure among certain Americans, such as racists, bigots, and other associated assholes. And that most other people will remain unaffected. Speaking of things that are going to affect people, heat waves continue across the United States with more hot weather expected to spring up over the northeast and northwest. The picture shows where temperatures are compared to normal temperatures. And you can see that some places are, I have no idea because I'm colorblind, but it looks kind of bad, I think. Meanwhile, I, as a Midwesterner, continue to feel smug as temperatures remain a nice whatever it usually is. So let's see if our habitable places remain, quote unquote, flyover country for long. Speaking of perfectly normal things going on in the world of weather, Haiti is preparing for a tropical storm. This is very soon after a 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck the island on Saturday. When asked how to help the Haitian island, historians said that perhaps France should pay back all the money they took from Haiti, plus interest. But given the recent power vacuum left by the assassination of presidents a few weeks ago, the Caribbean country is experiencing what some might call a quote-unquote bummer. And that's the news agenda for Monday, August 16th, 2021. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm enjoying doing these a little more lately because I've stopped giving a damn if I hit some arbitrary time code for YouTube's algorithm. If it happens, it happens, and I'm just going to roll with it. I'm just letting you know, a reminder that I will be taking a break after the next week's News at Gen, partly because I will be going to Florida to visit family and friends, but also because I will start in earnest working on the edits for my upcoming novel, tentatively titled The Smallest of Problems. But you might see some other small videos on here, or not. We'll see. We'll see how I do. So thank you for watching. And remember, I love you.